One night in Nora, we finally got it nailed down, all cranked up. And here it is. Jason Viney. They got a gift in there, something that's never had here. Have to do it.
Ooh, nick of time.
Welcome, everybody, to the Down and Dirty Podcast. As we hear a beer open, we know that we are hanging out with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Welcome, everybody. It's Monday, October 9th. Is the Packer game started already, or what time's the Packer game come on?
Not 20 minutes, 10 minutes.
So we will put Packer scores up during the show as we do in here. So glad to see everybody. My name is Jason Schultz, joined by Ryan Zolik over there. Greg Elsing. He broke his thumb, everybody. So if everybody could have a quick moment of silence for Greg Elsing, he has to get his thumb refixed.
I broke it in June, and they're going to re-break it and reset it.
No, that's why I'm praying for you, Greg. That sounds very, very terrible. Very, very terrible.
It does.
So
I didn't know I broke it until this.
You still use that.
Yep.
Nice of you to bring on your substitute driver, Strandley. That's good. I like that. So
you've been waiting for that one, haven't you, Jason?
Yeah, pretty much.
He had that one in the back.
I save them. Of course, tonight we're celebrating our 2023 Badger State Points champions. From now until the banquet, our goal every Monday night is to have a Badger State Points champion on. It is one of the. It's an absolute amazing accomplishment to win any points championship, let alone a Badger State Points championship. Everybody knows how everybody's tough from top to bottom with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. So we're joined by our 2023 back-to-back Super Farm Points champion, Jason Viney from Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, with the Crank It Up, and his third cousin from another mother, John Strandley, also the voice of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. So
there you go. I think
We're
the last
a long way.
back in Super Farm probably his neighbor Punky.
yeah, I would think so.
I think so.
We're a long ways from home. You know, the street lights are out here in beautiful downtown Nora. So we're just up the street from there.
to Nora's Tavern. Well, Punky's probably at the tavern watching, right? He watches every night.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, he's probably down there tonight.
He's out doing his beans.
So we're here with Jason.
Yeah, we got California's checking in. Let us know where you're watching from, please, tonight. Let us know where you're watching from. Sorry, John. I'll shut up now. I promise.
No, it's all right. If anybody's got questions for Jason, throw them up there. That's why we're here. We're in the shop. We're sitting right next to the old girl here right behind us. Nice night here in the shop. Got some ice cold refreshments to help celebrate his winning year this year. And seeing some of the videos that were coming on, he was talking about the couple hardships that he actually went through this year. And he actually thought Chopir, and we were talking about it, I announced Chopir and Edgerton, but this got hurt.
Yep. At Chopir, it got pretty hot on me. And I just thought my timing had slipped. So I thought it was timing that it just slipped and put it back. And then I went to Edgerton and got even hotter. And I'm like, well, crap. And then I heard you announce over the loudspeaker that I had some blow by. And I looked up, there's blow by. And then I called Robbie, our motor guy, and he goes, yeah, I got the parts, but you ain't getting them before Wednesday for Jefferson. And went to Jefferson and burnt all six. So
Finished off.
Finished her off, yeah.
Yeah. Might as well do it right.
Yeah, when I did it down to Jefferson, I made sure that all six were bad. That's for sure.
Yeah. Would you end up placing
You
them?
wouldn't take it apart and replace one, would you?
No, well, maybe.
I've done that too.
If you had to make it to the next poll, by God, we'll do what we got to do. That's the name of the game.
Yep. Well, on Wednesday night, I text Robbie and I didn't hear back from him. Like, oh crap! And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, he texts me back, "How many do you need?"
Oh.
And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, he texts me back again. He goes, "Well, what CC or the piston?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I haven't even got it apart yet. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, Robbie." So and I called him when we got it apart at about 8:30 or so, and I told him everything or whatever, and he goes, "Well, just bring it on down. I'll try to get them done." And he had them done Friday morning. When I went and picked them up at I think 10:30, got back home at 11 o'clock, and from 11 o'clock till 3 o'clock, it was up and running.
Wow.
So in 4 or 5 hours time, we had the thing running.
Did it hurt the sleeves too?
Yep.
So new sleeves, new pistons.
Yep.
So is that what it was? The timing jump? That's it?
Timing slipped, and Robbie don't know. We asked him, and he goes, "I've been having lots of problems with some other stuff, and I just don't know." And he said, "Are you using lube in the fuel?" And we were a little bit, and he goes, "Well, up your lube up." So we put more lube in, and since then knock on wood, made it through the year. So I guess that's all you can ask for.
Are you running? You run VP fuel, Jason?
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Yep. And the thing that killed me, running the same stuff in Dan's tractor and had zero issues with it. Nothing. Up until that point, it was perfectly fine. Never touched his tractor all summer long.
It's just your luck.
Yeah, I guess so. This year, I started off pretty bad, and I didn't think I'd be sitting here tonight. I can tell you that. The way my year started.
Whose tractor's running better, yours or Dan's?
Don't matter. As long as they run, I don't care about anything about running better. Actually, I think Dan had about 50 more horse than I did.
Yeah, that's a lot in Super Farm, though.
Yes, it is.
A lot. Yep.
But there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, we go to Kevin Engelking, and he's a good dyno man, and every time we get ready to unhook, and you're discouraged a little bit, he goes, "Well, what are you going to do about it? Go hook to the boat and start pulling."
Yep.
Right.
So you do.
Overcome.
Yep. He's right there.
Yep.
You do it
Pick it up.
God.
Chassis set, tires, a little bit of luck of the draw when it comes to it. Getting the right weight set up, the gear.
Having the right driver.
Yeah, having the right driver, yeah. Yeah, it's it all, there's so many. That's the thing, truck and tractor pulling versus stock car racing. You go run hot laps, change the car, run the heat race, change the car, get the feature, you change the car and be able to set it up. These, you got a one-shot deal and make it count.
You got to hit it, and if you don't hit it, sometimes you get lucky, when you don't hit it. Sometimes when you screw up for the better.
Yep. That'd be me.
Yeah, or no, I wouldn't say that.
That'd be me. Yeah.
But sometimes it's just, you got to hit everything. You don't need it's great to have the most power that you can get. But if you don't have it, you make it up in other ways.
The biggest thing in championships that I've seen, and everybody kind of goes about it different, and I've always gone about it as one pull at a time, and I don't worry about the points race. I try and, be consistent, and if you're close to the top, when you're done, that points championship will come to you if you're consistent.
Yep.
And the consistency is what gets you there.
Yep.
And even like, you broke down, and
just keep your head down, keep going.
Yep, keep going. You just that's your mulligan, and we're moving on.
You gotta keep thinking that you're gonna win. And if you don't, it's just one of those things that it's hard to fight back when there's no fight in you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The biggest thing is being there every night too.
Yeah.
Night. And that's a lot. You said getting them Pistons, you knew you had a bad one, you went there, you burned the rest of them. Well, you were there. You wouldn't have been there, you wouldn't have won the points.
Yep. We got it back together after Jefferson. We had Jefferson night, so we had Thursday to tear it down, Friday to get it back together, and Friday night we were at Baraboo.
Yep.
And we were there.
Yep. It's a lot of work.
Thanks, Jason.
What's that?
Jason ain't listening.
Oh, there's a couple comments on there. I can't read them.
Jason's listening. Jason's trying to behave. Okay, you can't see that. You don't have your big screen TV there, Stranley?
Didn't work.
No, work out like I wanted.
Okay, then I'll start talking again. I'll interrupt you guys. It'll be great. Delbert Bunker Jr. is watching in from Freeport, Illinois. Trip Downing, also known as Skip, is there an autograph session following the interview? Is there an autograph session?
Sure. Yeah, make a single file line at the door and bring beer.
Yep.
What kind of beer?
Cold. Anything better.
Yeah.
Coors Light, as long as it's cold.
Drew Niederhoff says he's listening from a bean field in T-Bone Town. So he's hanging out down there with Dustin Hook.
Must be. Yep.
Yep.
Jeff Schultz watching on Facebook. He says, Jason, any plans on moving up to kick Greg Elstein's ass in Pro Stock next year? That's what it says. No, I kind of added that maybe. So
He'd come back to Super Farm where he should have never left from.
Yeah.
It would be.
Tom putting the motor in.
That's right.
I can't say it would be easier in Super Farm because it's not.
No.
That's a chance to win too.
Yeah.
When
you have good competition and fun guys to pull with, it's really a tough pill to swallow when they leave the class.
It is. It was.
Still talking?
Yeah. Well,
23 years. I was a Super Farm for 23 years.
It's a long time.
6 second place points finishes in the ends. I never once won it.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I've been a bridesmaid quite a few times too, but you're
Right.
still beating crackers even at second place in points. So there's nothing wrong with
You get in the top 5 of that class, and you did something.
any class.
Any class. Yeah, you did something.
Yep.
Greg, Jeff, he didn't say that, Greg. I kind of added the kick your ass thing. Okay. Jeff just wants me to make sure everybody knows that. So,
Well, everybody else might not have Jason do it.
Mark Kaltenhauser from the Esden Lane King of Smoke Camp is checking in. He says, hello, fellas. He runs around with Mr. Esden Lane. Mark, thanks for watching the show tonight. Trip says, I figured we could meet at Nora's. You guys know where? Yeah, it's not too far. So, what time do you want to meet at Nora's there, Strand Man?
8:05.
Okay, 8:05.
Yeah.
Are they
It's a
done?
school night. I can't be out.
Yeah, I've been told that before. I know what happens. I end up sleeping on Elsie's couch. So,
Well, you're a different story. You go down that further road, See, the pre-mix, Jason, was a lot better than the mixing.
yeah, I tend to mix my own drinks. Greg and I weren't mixing much in our drinks that night, though. So.
No.
Yeah.
They're pretty much one element.
Two.
Morgan Schulte's checking in on YouTube. Jason, what caused the decision to switch to Magnum Hoodwork and why?
Something different. That was one of the main things. I mean, I love a 1066. I am a huge IH enthusiast. I mean, I got, we got 66s all over on the farm, and, gold one. I got a gold 1456, but the problem with that sheet metal is it's a lot harder to fit anything under the hood. And that was one of the main reasons why I just got sick of fighting it with no room under the hood. You can't do nothing. So, I mean, you put the Magnum sheet metal on and there's a lot more room. And I'm not a big fan of the real new stuff. So, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of old school. I like the old 1066s and 1456s and all that stuff, but needed more room, wanted more room.
Well, no matter what the Vineys do, it looks good. You guys know that it's sharp, but your tractors are sharp. They look good. So
and Jason, you fix up a lot of tractors to sell too. Like you had that 1206 one time, and I wish I could have been in the position to buy that thing. And that thing was beautiful. You fixed up and sold as a tractor. You fix up a lot of tractors like that too, don't you?
Yeah, we've kind of laid off the last few years because prices have just went nuts, and everybody always has a hard time. When you have a good tractor, it's hard for everybody to want to pay for it being done. They always say, well, I can buy one cheaper, but then they take it home and then they end up spending more than what we wanted for the tractor. So the last few years, we've kind of laid off of it a little bit, but we do it. I mean, we buy and sell them all the time, or try to at least. And I mean, we got one sitting in here right now for John Link. He's got a 1456, and it's kind of an odd duck one. It's got 24 5s on it, and no PTO and no 3-point and all that stuff. And it's fun to do. Keeps us busy, keeps us doing something, and it's fun to do. I like working with Dad on that stuff, and it's enjoyable. Yep. It's a good way to make extra money sometimes, but not a lot, but you make a little.
Yep.
The cool part about this is even when Greg and I were here with you guys and we did the interview here, our shop tour, the biggest thing comes up is family all the time, and into pulling is family, and then with you guys too. I mean, your brother, your mom and dad are there all the time. Your dad's here with you in the shop, and that's the biggest thing. And the enjoyment out of that is you can't put a dollar amount on it.
Nope. I mean, this was one of the most fun years of tractor pulling I had in a long time because of the fact that we hauled Mitch Berger around all summer. The Fritz boys and Mitch, they usually haul together, but the Fritz boys ended up hauling with my brother and Chuck when they went on the tour. So Mitch goes, I don't really have a ride. He goes, I don't think I'll be able to make all the pulls. And I said, bull crap. You're coming with me and you're going to make all the pulls. And he goes, I don't think I'm going to make all the pulls. I said, if you're coming with me, you're making all the pulls. And then come and run. You're right. I made all the pulls.
Made all the pulls, yeah.
I had a blast. It was great. I mean, like Chuck, we get along so well with him. Every time that we need something or he needs something, it's take it. If you need it, take it. I want every competitor to go down the track and beat everybody on the track. I don't want to win something by not really winning. Right. I don't, that's not winning to me. When you're not beating everybody on the track, you're not beating everybody. You're not winning.
Well, something you guys did too, and when I went up and announced at Plymouth the year before, Eric Wettenkamp was up there with his 466, and he pulls up north there, and he ended up having injection line trouble. Yep. So I didn't hear what was going on other than he had injection line trouble and he scratched. Yep. The next thing you know, he didn't scratch. He's back up and running. He made a good.
Did we lose him?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I can tell
right when it was getting good.
It's the same thing for you.
You need help, and if you don't jump, there's
John, you have to. Can you tell the story about Eric again?
Did we lose reception here or what?
We're going into getting the injection line for Eric Wetton.
So Eric Wetton had ended up scratching or was going to scratch in Plymouth, and he had a bad injection line on his tractor. Well, Viney's found out somehow, and they had injection.
Park right next to us.
Okay, parked next to him. So they gave him an injection line and put the injection line on the tractor, and he run that night. He passed that night, and he come up and told me to thank them, and that's what had happened. And I think that probably had a lot to do with him right there going, I'm gonna go pull with Badger State. That's amazing.
You got to help people. I mean, if
That's how you get good people to come with us, because he appreciated that, and a guy who
did.
that will come and pay it back tenfold, and he has.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And down the road he'd do the same thing, and Greg, you do the same. Jason would do the same thing. If you got it and you need it right now, here, get it, use it, get me another one when you get a chance.
Well, I mean, it goes back to parts again. Down at Darlington, John Jr., he come in a trailer and he goes, "You guys got an extra, oh God, what was it now? Check valve for the pump for the fuel return." And I said, or he wasn't looking for a check valve, he was looking for a fitting. And I said, "Well, we got this extra check valve, just take it." And then come to find out, it was for Mike Luthborough's tractor.
Oh, was it?
So he thought I ended up taking it off my tractor so then he could pull. So when he gets done pulling, he brings it back over to me. I'm like, "Mike, I didn't need it. It was a spare one." He goes, "Well, if you need it, take it." I said, "No, if you need it to run it on the trailer, take it home. Give it back next couple pulls. We don't need it." Yeah. That's what we got it for, is if somebody needs something and you got it, you give it.
Yeah.
Yep. We all do that too. We all have parts with us. You'll find a part in the pits if you need it.
So Morgan Schulte, Dan is Jason's brother. Don is their dad. So that's the lineage of everybody there. So I think he heard Dan and Don and got confused. So I wanted to straighten that out there, Jason. So
yep.
I mean, Dan is old enough to be your dad, Jason. I understand that, but I mean, he is your brother. So.
Well, he's only 2 years older than me, so I don't know if he's quite old enough to be my dad.
I would try to have some fun with him, but he's bigger than me and he'd put a thumping on me, so I got to be careful, Joseph.
He probably is. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Is any other? By all means, anybody
No,
jump on?
I've caught up with all the questions so far, John. If anybody has questions for Jason Viney or for Elsine or Ryan Zolik, even John Stranley, if we get that desperate, we can ask John questions. I prefer not to get that desperate, but we'll do what we can with what we have. You know what I'm saying? So
I was just talking about Jason tires now, and since you started cutting your own tires here, I really think you took a step forward. I think that 100%.
I hope so, but I mean, when I first started doing it, I came out and I didn't feel like I was doing as well as I should. So I just kept saying to myself, I got to be screwing up on the tire. It's got to be me. I can't blame it on nothing else. So I got that in my mindset that it was all me. And again, you go back to, you got to have setup right, have hook position right. You got to be, got to go down the right spot of the track. And then when I finally quit thinking about tires, it kind of went away, and you just started doing better.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get in your own head for something.
Yep.
You gotta have a clear mind, and you guys know that as well too, and other pullers too. It's no different than getting ready to pull and you have a problem, and then you pull it off the track, and then you get it fixed, but you get back on the track, but you're not still in the clear frame of mind you were to begin with.
Nope.
Now you're gonna make a pass, and it's gonna make a pass, but this is not the winning pass we're gonna make today because we already upset the apple cart.
You're just
in your mind.
Yep. You're just getting it down the track at that point in time, and sometimes it don't feel right, and sometimes it turns out better.
Yeah.
Just like at Monroe this year when you drove, John.
That's luck.
We'll say it was good.
It's good.
How about that? That was one of the most enjoyable times that I've had in a very long time. That was the first time that I have watched my tractor go down the track since I put this sheet metal on. If it's went down the track with somebody else in the seat, it was because I wasn't there. My dad refuses to drive it down the track. Don't know why, but he does. He just don't want to do it. And Dan, when he's there, he's got his tractor, so he ain't driving. And how it all came about that morning, I called John and I said, "You announcing at Monroe today?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Well, you should bring your suit." And he goes, "Well, why?" I said, "Well, I owe you a ride on it when you gave me a ride on the mini rod." And I said, come and drive her. And he got down there, and he was a little nervous, I think. He got up on his seat doing a little shaking, and when he first got there, which is understandable, and it was just fun for me. It was one of those things that you can't take back because it was a lot of fun to watch your tractor go down the track, and it's just enjoyable. I loved it. It was great for me.
That's fun for me too, because anytime I get a chance to, and they very often, and I thank you very much, that someone will let you or trust you drive, someone's equipment. And, how many chances and people and fans that, never get a chance to see that or feel that. And I've driven a bunch of different things and over the years, but it's always fun and I enjoy it the most. But it really, as someone that's driven and drives, you really got to concentrate because you're not used to it. You don't quite know, what to expect, but it's not the same. Everybody's tractor is a little different.
Yep. I mean, like that day that he come, and he got on the tractor, and I said to him, "Here's your intercooler. You got to turn the water switch on. Here's how you start it. You pull it out. You shove it in." It was just. I mean, I don't want to say that I knew that he knew, but in the back of my mind, I had nothing to worry about because I was putting somebody on the seat that has been down the track how many times. It doesn't matter what it was, mini rod or a tractor. It don't matter. I had all the faith in the world for him to get it down the track. Not to do what he actually ended up doing, but, that's just a double bonus on top of it. And when they said he put it out front, I was pretty happy. It was pretty cool. I can't say his response when he took his helmet off at the end of the track, but that made me smile.
Yeah, that was cool. You come over there and Travis Wildman and Kurt Wildman were the first ones there standing by the tractor. And it's, it's not easy to just jump on and do that. And you guys do it all the time. And I've done it, which has helped me a little bit. I don't have that experience like you guys do.
Yeah.
But I mean, you set it up good. You knew what the tractor needed.
Yep.
Picked the gear, and I just had to finish it.
Yep.
That was the biggest part of it. And that's the hardest part of it,
Yeah.
not driving and whatever, but it was fun.
If anybody's wondering, this is the video from Monroe of John driving the points champions tractor down the track. I keep playing. So just so you know, that is proof that not all mini rod pullers are crazy. They do come to the dark, they come around and they will drive a diesel tractor every now and then. So,
Right.
Hey, Stranley.
Never had touch the brake. Holding at the line.
John, you and I let Brian drive my hot farm back in the day, and I got to drive your mini rod. For you to drive the diesel super, you're going to need to bring more than a mini rod to trade with. Okay, just so you know.
Okay.
Like a 4-engine mod, something like that.
Somebody bring 4-engine mod.
Right.
I got to do some. Somebody.
I'm not going to, Jason. I can't say it.
I don't care what you say, Elsie. I'm not afraid. So.
Will. No.
Don't check it out now on me, Elsie. People watch the show for you to pick on me. I get text messages.
Question for Jason. All summer long, who was your stiffest competition? You think you had a couple guys there, and Trip was one of them, and I thought he might be, but he had a little problem breakage there one time, I think, right?
He had all sorts of trouble this summer. He was fighting demons this summer. He went down to it was Helenville. He blew up his rear end or something in his rear end. I can't remember what it was. We offered our help because that's all we can do, and we don't have no John Deere parts. Is just offer help. But he did something to the rear end, and after that, he just fought gremlin after gremlin after gremlin, and they finally figured it out by the end of the summer, and he got running better and got back on track a little bit, but he just fought gremlins. And I mean, the Chaos boys, all three of them boys, they do a very good job of driving. They do a good, I mean, Josh Blackburn, he's great at reading tracks.
Yep.
I mean, run good too. And I mean, like I said, we hauled Mitch around all summer, and I was hoping that he'd get up front and get it out front and win a pull this year. And I mean, Johnny Dalkey, that thing runs good too. And
yep.
I think he's really missing his tires. And I mean, them guys are good competition too.
They are.
I mean, say that I had one guy that I was battling all summer because every pole that I went to, I mean, I only won one time this year, except, well, I guess we won twice on my tractor. John won one of them.
Well, you'd have a couple more if Chuck would have showed up.
Well, yeah, Chuck too.
That Chuck Hindenburg guy.
Yeah. But that's pulling. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go to a pull thinking that you ain't got competition every time that you hook to that sled, I don't care who it is, you don't deserve to win.
Yeah.
Well, like last year, Mike, in 2022, Mike Meyer won the points, but he never won an event. He never won one all year.
Consistent, being consistent is what gets you there, you know.
Yep.
Be there.
Top three, you hang around the top three, you'll get it, you know, where somebody wins this weekend and the next weekend they get fifth and then they get a second and then they get sixth. You know, if you hang around there.
Yep. You just, I mean, staying in the top is the main thing. I mean, I know this year we didn't have a lot of tractors in our class. I mean, we had a lot of, you know, guys that come from PPL and stuff like that, like Chuck and my brother and Punky. I mean, Punky didn't get out until halfway through the summer. He finally got his back together. But, I mean, you got all them guys there. It's just they're not always there.
Oh.
And, I mean, we had 5 consistent guys this summer, and it makes it a lot more fun when you got to beat everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everybody on the track. I know, Greg, you asked who's stiffest competition, but everybody in our class is stiff competition. It don't matter who it is. The night, it don't matter. It's just like the NFL, you know. I mean, any team can win at any night. They can win, just like in tractor pulling. If they hit your setup and, you know, everybody else screws up, or 1 or 2 guys, you know, hit their setup, they're 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's all it takes. You got to hit your setup all the time.
Ours have to align. Everything has to be right for it, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Everybody starts the year thinking they did the right things this winter. You know what I mean? Everybody says, well, I did what I could. I'm not just going there to be a class filler. I'm there. I did what I think. I spent my money. I don't know anybody ever said, we're not going to run this year. I didn't do anything, you know, but everybody works on them all year long. You know, it's not
just like,
and it's fierce for people that, but the good, you know, it is when you're building, it's fierce. Yeah, I'm going to beat these guys. I want to do this. But when you get there, you're like, they beat me, whatever. Let's go drink a beer with them. You know, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that goes back to you talking about cutting tires. You know, I mean, when I started out the year, I started out and I was back right away. I mean, I for the first 5, 6 pulls with breakdowns and just bad luck, and I was out of the top 5 for like the first 5, 6 hooks. And it's like, well, you know, I mean, I know it's me with my cutting tires, but after I finally settled in and got settled down and, you know, fixed the tractor and the problems I had, my injection pump slipped on it and the hub was slipping on it, and we took it off after we burnt the motor down, took it off and took it out to Dennis Fry, and he got it fixed for me. He got it back in for me, and it was off like 9 degrees. I mean, that's huge. And that's why it got so hot on me and burned the pistons.
Yep.
And I thank Dennis out to Fair Valley very much for what he did for us this summer. It did help a lot.
He is one of the best guys to say, get you going and get it done when he says he's going to get it done. Of all the people I've dealt with all in my 43 years of pulling, when he says he's going to do something for you, and 99% of the time is done when he says it's going to be. And I don't know how to get more of a glowing record than that. But that's very important when you're pulling.
Yep. I mean, like, again, me with cutting tires, I mean, I think you asked me, or one of the boys asked me about cutting the tires for him, and I said, well, I got such and such in line before you. I can't do it until I get them done. I told them first, and first come, first serve. I got them done, and I got the boys done right after that because they were the next in line.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's all anybody wants is your word to be good when you say you're going to do something. That's all anybody can expect, right?
Tell me the truth right from the very beginning, because it's easier to hear the truth and be disappointed versus saying you're going to have something done and then don't have it done.
Right, because you're not going to get it done. Maybe you can find something else to make it work until that's done. You know,
Yep.
I don't want to be hanging there waiting and it's not done.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's a tough business. It is, but your word is all you got.
Yep.
I see you got Josh Miley's front end on here.
Yep.
How long have you had that on here?
Shouldn't have asked me that question. I think it was,
Good ones.
I think I put it on in 18 or 19, I think it was. And then I got it in, well, after the farm show.
Okay.
It was after the farm show, and then we went up to, it's a pole we don't have no more. What was it, Greg?
Which one was that? I didn't hear that.
Oh, I thought you said something. It was the first pole of Badger State. I think it was 3, 4, 5 years ago, up north. I think it was one of the Linehans that put it on.
Yep, I don't remember the name, but I know what you're saying. Ettrick or something like that.
Ettrick, yep.
Yep.
And I got the frame, got it all on, and it was in like a month's time that I had to make everything fit back. I mean, we took everything off the old chassis, and you put it on. It's a fight to get all that stuff to line up back right, and I got it on, got it going.
Good.
Made the first.
Was there a lot of adjusting to it to get it to where you want
Yes.
it? I mean, because
Yep.
it's they're airbags, so
Yep.
so you got to play with that a little bit, get your ride height, and then get enough pressure in it, so it doesn't bottom out. And,
Yep. I did a lot of playing with that, and I mean I changed. It's not a lot of stuff that Josh did. I mean, Josh didn't do it wrong at all by any means whatsoever. It was different, and I mean, it was kind of one of the first ones kind of that Josh did, and that's how he was setting them up, and he kind of gave me the gist of where I should go, and I started there and had a few things that I didn't like that I changed, and I mean, it's just one of those things. It's no different than putting a new turbo on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that you got to make an adjustment for with everything. You change one thing and it changes 1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just seems like actors at the front end like this, or the spring ride, that move. Like the video it showed there, it bounced a couple times, and I couldn't. If you'd have asked me if it bounced in the seat,
Yeah.
I just said it didn't.
It settles it.
Yeah.
It doesn't disrupt it. When you're slamming that front end, you're actually picking your rear end.
Yeah.
And you don't want
Tires.
right. And you don't want that. And with that cush, I mean, it doesn't disrupt it. It still does a little bit. You're never going to get away from it. But it helps not disrupt it so much. So I mean, it does help. If it rides really the pits riding around, you don't hit no bumps, but
Yep. I think the air ride front end, is a good thing. I really do. I like it, but there's some disadvantages of it too. If I watch guys, there is. I really think that. But I do. I'd like to put it on my tractor someday.
It does help. I mean, it helps, but like you said, it does have some disadvantages. I mean, you do lose a little drawbar when the front end picks up.
Yep.
But there's give and there's take, and sometimes you just got to find that happy medium, and sometimes you just put it on and you just stick with it and you go to town.
Yep.
My philosophy in pulling, you lose hitch height when you pick the front end, but when you pick the front end, you're carrying it, you're gaining speed, and you're also transferring all the weight.
Yep.
And you got momentum when that's happening. In my mind, when you're carrying the front end and you're hauling the mail, it's not hurting anything at all. That little bit of hitch height that you're losing, you're already gaining because you got ground speed.
I feel the same way because you look at the Elky guys, the heavy Elky guys, light Elky guys. I mean, they run an 18-inch drawbar. I mean, they can be 20, but they're running the 18 because they that's how they adjust their weight.
Yeah.
They actually, I mean, a lot of them guys, from what I've heard and known or whatever, that they don't even move weights. They adjust their weight to their tractor by the drawbar.
When you make that much more horsepower than that, you can get away with that. Where you that's kind of your last resort of adjusting that down or whatever. Of course, you want to keep it up to where it is, but then if they don't have enough weight to throw up there like the light supers, where you're going to carry it anyway, that's their way of kind of controlling the chaos.
Yep.
But a lot of the guys are strapping them down now, so they don't lose that drawbar. You see them ratchet them down a little bit and put some pressure on them already, so it does not change that much. I don't know if you at it all.
That's how mine is. That's what I figured out in 2018 or 19 when I did it. I got it to where I wanted it or where I wanted it, and I set it there, and then I scrapped it down, and it don't go nowhere now.
Right. Right. That's the learning curve with anything new you put. Talked before when you do something, it changes everything.
Yep.
There's a lot of help in the background and week in, week out, and whatever else, and family. But like you said, Robbie, like your engine work, pump work, and all your other stuff, or where you buy tires or whatever. Who would you want to thank for helping you out this year?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, the list is pretty simple. I mean, Kevin Engelking to start out the year. We go there every year, and even if we don't change a part on the tractor, we're still going to the dyno because you always still got to go and make sure everything is where you feel okay in your head with. And it's just Kevin Engelking. I love the guy for what he does. I mean, there's nobody else that you can go to and say, you got to try this, even though it sounds stupid. He'll say, you got to try it. So we try it, and it might work, might not work.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Yep. I mean, Kevin Engelking and then Robbie. I mean, like when I burnt the motor up at Jefferson, finally finished the motor off at Jefferson. I mean, how many guys can you call and he call or texts you back at 1 o'clock in the morning and saying, what do you need? I mean, how do you even thank somebody like that? I mean, I took him beer. Yeah. I mean, that's about all you can do is,
That's thankful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We drank it all, but, I still took it there.
Yeah. It's
the
thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts, And,
absolutely.
Yep. I mean, like I said, Dennis Fry. I mean, up at Fair Valley, we had a problem. He said, yep, bring it up. We got a little bit of time. We'll get it done. And he did. I mean, he got it done in a short amount of time. I mean, he had a day to get it done, and he did. He got it done for me, got it back on the tractor, and it's been fine since. I mean, again, how do you thank somebody like that? I mean, you can say it all you want to, but when somebody helps you out in the way that they help you out, it's kind of a thankless job. I mean, I'm trying my best to thank them, but you can't, I mean, it's so hard. And I mean, Mark Hawthorne, I mean, I got cutting my own tires and stuff like that. And Mark, I call him, and any question that I have for him, he does his very best to try to answer it for me. And if he don't know the answer for it, he's like, well, try it. Try something different.
He goes to the CEO of Hawthorne Tire Cutting, and that's Jeff Krummenauer's brother-in-law.
Okay.
Crumb Cake, yeah.
Okay.
Ask him about Crumb Cake.
You'll have to do that.
Yeah, he's a CEO.
Well, I mean, Mark, we bought my set of tires from him last year I put him on for Hellenville. And we called him up about a week and a half, 2 weeks before, maybe it was further than that, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before Hellenville. And he goes, yep, I'll get you a set. And he got us a set, and they work great. I mean, I put them on, and I can't say anything bad about them. I mean, they did exactly what they were supposed to. And Mark is also one of them guys that you can thank him all you want to. And he's already told me, he goes, don't thank me. I said, well, why? He goes, I don't need it. He goes, I get more pride out of my guys doing good going down the track than I do anything. And he's been great for me. I mean, every question that I have for him, like if I'm cutting tires, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? And he goes, I can't see anything wrong with what you're doing. He goes, I can't. He goes, there's some things in the tire world that you just can't explain, and you got a question like that, and sometimes you just can't answer it. And for the most part, though, Mark, every time I ask him something, he's been great. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. But
two more things that I got. The folks that go to the polls and go in the pits. I mean, those of you that are watching, you got to go in the pits. And we're sitting next to this thing. This thing's all airbrushed. This ain't vinyl. This is all paint, and it is smooth. And this thing you can tell is wet sanded and polished. Who painted this?
Willie Osborne.
Where's he from?
Out of Marshall. He actually does the Stirwell trucks.
Oh, does he?
Yep, he does. Or they pull Badger trucks. They got gas trucks, 4-wheel drive gas trucks, and he does a lot of their work. He has got some wild stuff that he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of them guys that you can tell he's a painter.
Yeah.
You can tell he's a painter, and when you can tell he's a painter, he's going to be a good painter.
Yeah. Artist.
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 He is an artist. He is
Like
very
Schultz,
good.
he's kind of an artist.
Yeah, right. Greg's got the bad thumb.
Yeah, Greg's got the bad thumb, Jason. You got to find your own. Yep. Number one.
Number one.
Right.
The Willie Osborne. The other thing too is the story, in the day when they, you guys were running one pro farm.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's two pro farms, and the conversation come up after a Friday night fish fry about what you guys are going to name the other tractor.
Yep.
Where did that happen?
Well, we're down in Oro one night, and there was a few of these. And then John walks in, and then we got talking about it again, and it got a little heavier, and I wanted one thing, and Dad didn't like it, and he wanted to name it kind of along the same lines of, crank it up tractor, the one my brother drives.
Crank it up. You had to have crank in it somehow.
Yeah, had to have crank in it. I don't even know who said it. I think Ma said it, wasn't she?
I said all cranked up.
You said it? Okay.
And she didn't know that about that time, Gretchen Wilson's son.
Yeah, all jacked up.
All
Yep,
jacked up.
yep.
Come on the
Yep.
jukebox.
Yep.
I said, see, all cranked up.
Worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. Then you guys put it on there. That
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
Yeah, and then I said whenever we're going to have a pro stock someday, which will be never. I said cranking out the cash. That'd be a good one, right?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, right. Put you on the side, Jason, cranking out the cash.
Yep.
Your dollar bill.
Yeah, I do home loans. I get something on there for you. So
I do home loans. Give me money.
You got a spot right here, Jason.
Yeah, right.
Right here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I do home loans.
Right there.
yeah, I just bought something that's gonna eat some cash, so I'm gonna sit with that for a bit. So
Well, you need all the sponsorship you can get done.
I do actually. We might talk.
Is there-
Brian Gunderson says, congratulations, Jason. I hope to be sitting in that seat next to John someday. He'd like to be a points champion as well someday with Badger State.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Great guy. Gunsmoke.
Yep.
Randy Sugden says, congrats, Jason. So, yeah, John, if you could, it's been great having you on, Jason, but I need to wrap it up so I can do my next podcast here in a few minutes. So, John, this is where we do our goodbyes and hugs and kisses and stuff.
Or no hugs.
Or kisses. No hugs and kisses. Well, we definitely thank you for being on. Congratulations on the points championship. We'd like to thank Farm Street Toys, Trip Downing, Slama Enterprises, and Casper Ag for helping us out with Down and Dirty. And able to come here to the shop tonight. I worked out with my phone, so this is great that we didn't have to just stay at my place like we did last time, but we're with the tractor. So congratulations, you and your family, and thanks again for letting me pilot that thing for the last voyage of the year.
It was an honor for you to do it. That was fun for me.
It was a lot of fun. That was a good day. So,
Yep.
And if I didn't do a good job, boy, I had a lot of explaining to do.
I wouldn't have got mad at you. Well, I put you on the seat. The only one you can blame is the owner of the tractor. So
It's fun. This has been fun. So I hope everybody enjoyed it here tonight, being able to be right here.
And who do we got? We got Timmermans lined up next week, right, Greg? Two-wheel
Yep.
drive?
Got the Timmerman 2-wheel drive truck pulling team, Terry and his boys. And I also want to thank Jason again tonight for being on, and look forward to next week with the Timmermans. And thank you for all our sponsors, and thank you for everybody listening. Makes the show great. Again, thanks for all the comments, guys.
And the Packers are winning 3-0. So
3-0, and they just got off the goal line. I've been watching it. They were down. They were on the goal line. They made a first down.
Go,
Jason,
Pack, go.
congratulations, you, Jason, your entire family. You guys have always been nice people, great competitors, great part of Badger State. I've known you guys for not as long as Strandley, but at least for 15 years or so. And just keep up the good work, okay?
Yep. No, I really enjoy everybody that we pull with. I mean, Greg asked me about competition before, but I don't really look at it as competition. I look at it as the enjoyment of actually getting to go to a tractor pull, see somebody, talk to somebody. Just it's more fun to have the camaraderie to go to a tractor pull and just talk. I mean, it's a lot more fun to me to be able to talk to everybody in my class and have fun with them.
Yep.
Right. And I want to hear from guys. That's the best answer you can give, Jason. Thank you.
So,
I enjoy more so of everybody I pull with than anything. I mean, I've been doing it for 25 plus years, and talking to everybody is a lot more fun nowadays that I'm getting, I might say, older. I mean, it's a lot more fun to go and talk to everybody that you pull with versus going to pull. I mean, like when John drove it, I mean, it was a lot of fun for me because I got to relax a little bit and sit back and talk to people, and it's fun. It's fun to get along with everybody you pull with.
Yep. Everybody wants to win when they're there, but you also want to have fun.
Absolutely.
Right? Yep.
Put the helmet on and you mean.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. That's scary. That's too close. So, thanks again for watching Down and Dirty podcast every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can also listen to us on the Let's Grow Pulling Podcast Network. Go to iTunes, Spotify, type in Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Jason, Viney, congratulations on an awesome season back to back. We'll celebrate you here in early December up there in the Dells. Everybody have a good night. Go Packers.
Cheers.